this set up. We're very excited to talk about 80-Day Obsession today. We have the one and only Calabrese with us, who will be overviewing the program, answering your questions, giving you all of the information you need to be prepared for an awesome product launch come January. And then when she's done, I will come on and talk to you about, as coaches, how we take this information and execute it into a launch plan for you to get the most out of this program and its launch for your business, for your coaches and customers. So we'll go from there. I am not going to delay anymore. The clock is running. You guys know who our guest is here. Autumn, go ahead and take it away.
What's up, guys? Happy Friday. Super excited to be on with everybody. Obviously, some of you have probably already been speaking with me over the last few weeks because I have been doing quite a few coach calls. And the beauty of that is that I've heard all your questions already. Not that I'm not going to take new ones. I've got my Facebook up. So as we're talking, you guys can post. I will, just so you guys know, I'm going to try to keep everything sort of specific to 80-Day Obsession, a little obsessed. And I, too, am going to touch on the business side of stuff because, believe it or not, I've got some thoughts and insight there as well for all of you, especially after talking to so many coaches and that sort of thing and strategizing with a lot of you already. So let me just start with, I was given a little bit of a list of basic questions. Let me just start with that so it can lead us into our discussion. And the first question I was given, which is, how did 80-Day Obsession come about? And it's funny and it's interesting because most of you guys know Carl probably has like a black book or a white book or something where he's got like all these ideas of workout programs that he wants to put out. And it was the same thing with Country Heat. He actually presented me with the idea of Country Heat and this program at the same time. And we went back and forth on which program would go first. And obviously Country Heat went first, and I'm so happy that it ended up that way. Obviously Country Heat was great and I loved doing that as well. But had 80-Day Obsession gone first, it wouldn't be the program that it is today. It wouldn't have been possible for it to be the program that it is today because at the time we didn't have the technology ready to film 80 workouts straight the way we're doing, to do a little Obsessed live. So it wouldn't have ended up being this incredibly innovative program that it is. And the only direction I was given at the beginning was, Carl said, I want an ass and abs program. And I was like, okay, great, but I'm sure we want it to be functional as well. And he said, yeah, take it away. Let me know what you got. And I had a long time to work on this, obviously, because I knew about it even when I was doing Country Heat. So the second I finished working on Country Heat, I went right into working on, it didn't have a name at the time, but I went into working on this butt and abs program. And there were a lot of things I took into consideration with this. The biggest one being I was getting really tired of seeing fitness experts, if you will, on social media saying things like, do the squat challenge to build your butt. And who wants a better butt? And squat challenge this and squat challenge that. Because although squats are a great move, your glutes aren't your prime worker in your squats, your quadriceps are. And so it was things like that that I really wanted to be able to educate people with the program, but then also train your bodies to functionally work, to move properly in space. Shredded abs and a great looking butt are sort of the second thought for me because I know those are the things that will come if I give you the right science and the right exercises, and I want to do that without injuring you as well. So the biggest thing for me when we're talking about our glutes is the fact that our glutes don't work the way they're supposed to anymore. We sit on our butts all day long, so those muscles don't fire the way they're supposed to. They're atrophied in a lot of ways, meaning the biggest muscle that moves you forward, your glutes help you walk, they help you run, they help you climb stairs, they help you sit down, they help you stand up. They're not working right. And then we wonder why we have back problems and knee problems and hip problems and all of these things. And it's the exact same thing for our core. We sit all day, our core isn't really activated. None of us are sitting up with beautiful, pretty posture. We're hunched over, we've got rounded shoulders, we've got distended tummies because we're pushing our muscles out instead of holding them in. Same thing, lower back issues because we're not engaging our core properly to support our body. And between your core and your glutes, that is your base of support. So if those muscles don't work right, it's no wonder we have all of these injuries. So for me, I wanted to make sure that in addition to getting you this amazing physique and a great butt and shredded abs and an overall nicely toned looking body, that your body was moving functionally in space. That is why you'll see things like the resistance loops and the sliders. And I know my guys sort of shun away from those two pieces of equipment, and they're just like, oh, this is girly, and what am I going to do with that? And the thing is guys, it goes for you too, and it actually goes for guys more, because guys don't even like to work their legs most of the time. So you're even more atrophied in your glutes and in your legs and that sort of thing. So using equipment like resistance loops and sliders allows us to activate those muscles. You can't train them if they're not firing, because what will happen is other muscles will take over and compensate, and that's not what we want. So by using the resistance loops, by using the sliders, the first thing I'm able to do is get those muscles actually working, so that when we go into other movements, they're firing properly and they're doing what they're supposed to. So that's sort of why I picked the resistance loops and the sliders in addition to weight training. The other part of it was I was very aware of how old I would be when we were filming this program. I knew I'd be 36, pushing 37. And even though that's not old, I didn't want to only lift heavy weight all the time anymore. I was like, there has to be another way to train and get the look that I want to get without only lifting heavy weight and putting all of this pressure on my joints day in and day out. There's got to be a happy medium of mixing it up. And I think we've found that with the loops and with the sliders, and actually managed to challenge our muscles in a significantly harder way with adding these two extra pieces of equipment in. So that's the equipment. But also, when it came to the program, I sort of had two running versions of the workout program going, almost up until like a month or two before we actually filmed the program, because although it was a thought that we would film for 80 days straight, it was debated back and forth for a very long time as to whether or not we would do it. One, it was like, okay, do we have the capacity to do this, to shoot for 80 days? How will that work? That means it's only going to be ever available on Beachbody on demand. It'll never hit DVDs, because putting 80 workouts on DVDs would cost like well over $2,000 for you guys to buy. But also there was the concern of like, Autumn, will your body hold up? Will the cast hold up? Will everything work? Or will it, there's a lot of moving pieces when you film for 80 days straight. So there was the one version of sort of, here's 16 workouts, and if we're filming them one way, we would film these 16 workouts, and this is what the program would be. Then there was this other version of, if we get to film for 80 days straight, this is what the program would be. And I was gung-ho in for that 80-day program from day one of filming for 80 days straight. The second Carl told it to me, I was pushing so hard. He probably was regretting ever telling me that in advance, because I was like, no, we have to film for 80 days straight. Because it opened up such a world of opportunity and a new way for me to train you guys. In filming for 80 days straight, it gives me the opportunity to train somebody the way I would train them if they step into the gym as my one-on-one client. It allows me to use true programming that a trainer uses when you work one-on-one with somebody. It allows me to use progression and periodization of saying, in this phase, we're working on this. We're working on building strength. In this phase, we're working on building power. In this phase, we're working on building endurance. Even though they all get mixed in, you have sort of an emphasis in each phase. But it also allows me to use progression, which is, in phase one, you do a squat. And then in another move, you do a shoulder press. And in phase two, I can combine the squat and the shoulder press. And in phase three, I can make it, a squat into a shoulder press, into a surrender, or something like that, where I can build on what you are learning and your strength. I can't do that, and haven't ever been able to do that when we film something like a 21-day fix. Here's 7 workouts. We film them one time. Those are the workouts you're going to do over and over and over again. So that alone should be something that you guys can use to get people really, really excited about this program. They are never going to see the same workout twice. They do day one, and they don't do day one again unless they go back 80 days later and start the program over again. And by the time you circle back to day one, you'll have completely forgotten what day one was. No clue what happened on there, which is fun because you're not hearing the same cues and the same jokes and the same thing over and over and over again. But it also, again, in using that progression and that periodization, it allows me to change up little things that keep your body from plateauing. So it allows me to say, in week 1, we're doing a 2x15 rep pattern, meaning medium weights, 2 sets, 15 reps. We go through the whole workout once, we circle back to the top, and we do it again. Week 2, even though you're doing the same workout moves, we're going to do them in a completely different rep pattern. We're going to do a 3x10. That means you're going to lift heavier. You're going to go through the whole workout once, twice, and 3 times. And trust me, that will feel very different than the 2x15. And then in week 3, we're going to make it a little harder. We're going to do a 3x10 again, but instead of going through the whole workout 3 times, we're going to take these 3 moves, we're going to do 10 reps of them 3 times in a row. So now you're burning that muscle group out significantly faster before you move on to the next one. It exhausts your muscles in a different way. And by week 4, you're in that 2x15 again, but you should be stronger. It's 4 weeks later, so your medium weight should be heavier than it was in week 1. That's my dog going crazy. Sorry, guys. And you're going to do the same thing. Yeah, thank you. Close that door. And then you're going to do three exercises, 15 reps, twice before you move on, so you get that burnout phase again. And just when you're sort of like, okay, sort of done all I want to do with these workouts, you move on to phase 2. And each phase has 6 workouts. They're themed, but they're completely different in each phase. So there's leg day, there's butt day, there's total body core, which is probably one of my favorite days. There's cardio core, there's cardio flow. Don't be fooled. That has nothing to do with yoga or anything. It's actually quite an intense workout. And there's AAA, which is arms, abs, and your butt. So you get all of these different themes as you move through each phase, and they all build on each other, which makes it really fun and really interesting. I'm opening up this for questions. In addition to that, I know what you guys want to know about. It's the nutrition. So let's talk about that really quick. So I'm getting in. I don't want to hear myself. Hold on. Sorry. I just want to get to your guys' questions. Okay. There we go. So the nutrition, big question I've been asked about. And I haven't talked too much about it yet because it's actually quite simple. And without having it in front of you, it gets a little bit abstract, but I'll talk a little bit about it right now. So let me tell you guys what it's not. There seems to be this misunderstanding that timed nutrition has something to do with intermittent fasting. It does not. Couldn't be further apart. Has nothing to do with fasting in any way, shape, or form. Timed nutrition is me answering the questions that you guys have asked for 4 years since the container system came out. Autumn, what's the best thing for me to eat before my workout? What containers? Autumn, what's the best containers for me to eat after my workout? Autumn, when should I be done with my yellows? When should I be done with my purples? I didn't mix and match my containers very well today. I got to the end of the day and all I have left is a blue and an orange. What do I eat now? Because those are weird containers to mix. All time nutrition is me saying, you're eating these 3 containers at meal 1. You're eating these 4 containers at meal 2. You're eating these containers at meal 3. And then I'm also saying meal 1 comes at this time. Meal 2 comes this many hours later. Meal 3 comes this many hours later. And so that's really all it is. You still decide what goes into your containers. I'm just telling you what containers and at what time, which actually makes it incredibly easy to follow. There is what we call the workout block, and this is the next big question I get asked, especially for my early morning people. So the workout block, it's 2 meals in your workout, essentially. It's what you eat before your workout, your supplements, and what you eat after your workout. That stays together. That workout block stays together no matter where your workout falls in a day. So whether you work out at 5 a.m., 12 in the afternoon, or 10 o'clock at night, that workout block always stays where it is. You eat your pre-workout meal a certain amount of time before your workout. Then if you're going to take Energize, you take that at a certain time before your workout. And then if you're going to drink Recover, you take that at a certain point right after your workout. And then your post-workout meal comes X amount of hours after your workout. And again, I'm not giving you guys exact times because I'm not ready to give you the nutrition program yet. So for my early morning risers that have all been saying, I hear you're supposed to eat an hour and a half at least before your workout. Yes, that is actually accurate. 1.5 to 2 hours before your workout is when you're supposed to be eating. So I'll give you guys two answers, and this stuff is in the materials, but I'll just sort of try to put your mind at ease. I'm going to give you the tough love answer, and then I'll give you the real life answer. The tough love answer is 80-day obsession really is all about committing to yourself. The word obsession has nothing to do with obsessing about the number on the scale. It has nothing to do with obsessing about the way that you look. It has nothing to do with obsessing about calories. It has to do with having a certain level of obsession for yourself and your self-care, and being okay with that and saying it's okay to take care of me, and I'm going to give myself this amount of time to work out, and I'm going to set aside time to meal prep my food, and I'm going to eat on point and on time the way the program is written, and I'm going to do my self-care, which means I'm going to get a massage, or I'm going to use the foam roller, or I'm going to stretch. That's what being obsessed is about. And if you're going to dedicate yourself to this program, then my advice to you, especially since this is all coaches, is you go all in and follow the program as it's written. And as it's written is that you're supposed to eat before you work out, even if it means at 5 a.m. So what we did, we took this all into consideration, you guys. There was many meetings with the nutrition team about this. And there are sample days in the program guide. If you work out first thing in the morning, here's what your day of eating looks like. If you work out in the afternoon, here's what it looks like. And if you work out in the evening, here's what it looks like. And for those people who are super early risers, again, this is going to sound a little abstract, but there's your typical post-workout meal, and there's your workout, or there's your typical pre-workout meal, your workout, your post-workout meal. And after that workout block, it goes meal 1, 2, and 3, because there's 5 meals in a day. We say you can sub out meal 1 for your pre-workout meal. And the reason behind that is we kept meal 1 much smaller. And essentially meal 1 could be your Shakeology meal if you wanted to make it that, which is much faster to make in the morning. It's much easier to digest first thing in the morning. So you don't have to necessarily wait that hour and a half. Maybe you drink it 20 minutes before your workout. Or if you're like me, you could chug it and walk right into the workout room and start your workout and have no issue. You have to know your body a little bit and know how much time you need to digest. For me, you guys would be shocked. My meal is huge that I eat before my workout. And if I wait any longer than 30 minutes, I'm hungry again and I need more fuel for my workout. That's just me. That's my metabolism. That's how it works. So you can sub in meal 1. Okay, that being said, I'm still very aware that a lot of you are going to fight me on it, and a lot of you are going to just be like, I'm not eating before I work out. I don't like to eat before I work out. Okay, that's your choice. Like, this isn't a dictatorship. I'm not saying you can't do it if you don't. And then in which case you would just start following your time nutrition as soon as you're done with your workout. But that being said, I will say this. These workouts are hard. They're meant to be hard. I don't care what your fitness level is. It's meant to be hard for everybody. If it's not hard, it doesn't challenge you. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. So you should be pushing yourself to whatever your heart is, no matter what. You need to fuel your body for these workouts. If you are the early morning workout person and you ate dinner at 7 o'clock at night, and you wait 3 hours and you go to bed and then you sleep for 8 hours, you've gone at least 11 hours without eating before your workout starts. That's not great. Your body is not fueled, and your body will have to tap into other energy sources. And the last thing you want when you're trying to build lean muscle to get this really great shredded look and to lose weight and all that is to go into a workout without putting some sort of fuel into your body. There's no way you're going to be able to push as hard. It's just a given. If you don't have the fuel to tap into, your body has to pull from other sources. That's a little bit harder to do. So you might not lift as heavy. Maybe you don't push as hard as in cardio. Maybe you need to pause a little bit more because you're a little lightheaded because you didn't eat. So take that into consideration. And also know that sometimes you got to change things up. I say it all the time when people hit plateaus. They're like, well, what do? I hit a plateau. And it's the smallest changes that can break a plateau. It's everything from, bumping your weights up, and that doesn't mean jumping 5 and 10 pounds in weights. You can go from lifting 8s to lifting 10s. That's a bump up and a shock to your system. It'll jumpstart your results. Let's say you've been eating from the container system like 21 Day Fix or Portion Fix. We're still using the container systems in 80-day obsession. But now you're going to do time nutrition, where I've balanced your macros for you throughout the entire day. So you're fueled before your workout. You're fueled to recover after your workout. You're fueled to keep your metabolism going strong throughout the entire day. That's a shock to your system if you haven't been doing it that way. It'll jumpstart change. Same thing. If you've been the person who works out at 5 o'clock in the morning every day for a year and year and year, that's great and you're in a routine and it totally works. But try changing it up every once in a while. See what it feels like to work out in the afternoon or maybe a little bit later in the evening. That's a shock to your system. Your body's used to that workout first thing in the morning. When you change it up, you hit your system and it goes, wait, what? This is new. And then it can start responding again. So don't be afraid to embrace the change of the program, the change that the program brings along with it. Also talking about the meal plan, I know there's a lot of questions. Is there a vegan meal plan? Yes, there is a vegan meal plan. There's a completely vegan meal plan for 80-day obsession. It's the first time we've had that, which is great. So you guys can be totally excited for that. There is not vegan performance line yet, so you still wouldn't be able to use the recover or the recharge. You can absolutely use the energize, but no, there's not a vegan performance line yet. I'm going to start looking at your guys' questions, and I know there's a ton of them, so let me just see. Oh, look at that. Is there a vegan plan for 80-day obsession? Was the first question. What is the easiest way of using sliders on a rubberized floor? If all you have is a rubberized floor, get a beach towel or a giant piece of cardboard or something. Make sure it's secured down so it doesn't slide up under you, and then you can use your sliders on that, because on the beach towel, all you do is take the black felt off, and it will slide on that. Or you can buy even a little area rug. Doesn't have to be big. It could be really small. Like, you don't need a whole lot of room on the carpet. You just need the sliders to have enough room to slide back and forth on the carpet. So even if one foot's on the mat and the slider foot is on the carpet, that's plenty of room. So you can do things like that if you have rubberized flooring. Okay, let's see. We just talked about if you're an early riser, so that was one of the questions. Bands and rolling. Okay. The loops just take a little bit of getting used to. It's really all about how you position them on your legs. If you position them too high, they're definitely going to roll up. If you position them too close to your knees, they might roll up. So it's sort of finding that sweet spot, like 2 to 3 inches above your knee. But just be patient with yourself. In the beginning of filming 80-Day Obsession, you'll see it on the cast. They roll on them too all the time. It just took like a week or two for them to get used to it. But also be aware, if a loop keeps rolling on you time after time, it might be that it's not a strong enough loop. Like, let's say you have a yellow one around your leg and we're doing side squats. It might not be strong enough. You might need to bump up to the green or the blue in order to make sure it doesn't roll on you. Because the stronger your legs get, the more resistance you need. Because if you just push super hard into those loops, they'll roll. So you need a stronger one. So be aware of that. And another question I get asked about the loops is, how do you know if you need the 9-inch loops or the 12-inch loops? If you're short like me, tiny like me, you want the 9-inch loops. If you're taller, like 5'7", 5'8", or above, you might want the 12-inch loops. If you have more than 30 pounds to lose, you might want to use the 12-inch loops, because you don't want them so tight around your thighs that it's cutting off your circulation or you feel like you can't move. The nice thing is with any of the packs that we're selling for 80-Day Obsession, you will get a set of 9-inch and a set of 12-inch. So you'll have the ability to test them both out and see which one works for you. So that's good. Okay, let's see. Can we talk more about timed eating and the science behind it? So we just kind of covered that a little bit, but like I said, the whole reason for timed nutrition is that I'm keeping your macronutrients balanced throughout the day. Your healthy fat, your healthy carbs, and your lean protein. So instead of somebody sort of just saying, okay, well, these are the containers I'm allowed to eat in the day, and oh, I just ate a red, and then 2 hours later, I ate a purple and a green, and then an hour later, I had a teaspoon of peanut butter. Instead of doing that, I'm keeping them balanced all throughout the day, which gives your body enough protein, it gives your body enough glycogen, sugar, it gives your body enough fiber every time you eat to keep all systems a go. And you're eating often enough that you don't ever slow your metabolism down. It happens so often nowadays where we don't even realize it. We go 5, 6, 7 hours without eating. That affects your metabolism, but it also affects what you choose to eat at the time when you do finally eat. Because when you get to the point where you're that hungry, usually that's when cravings start kicking in, and it's harder to make the healthy choice. You're like, I don't want vegetables. I want a burger. I'm starving. So by eating every couple hours and keeping your body full and satiated, we're hopefully starting to deter those cravings as well, so that you're not battling that, or you're not binging and gorging yourself at the end of the day because you just went 6, 7, 8 hours without eating. And when you keep your macros balanced the way we're doing, and you fuel your body before a workout, and you fuel it for recovery after a workout, the results are just going to be that much better. So that's why I incorporated Time Nutrition. And I did incorporate the Beachbody supplements into the Time Nutrition. Doesn't mean that you have to use them, but you know, what they do is sort of in the name. It's performance. It's to enhance your performance. So if you wake up and you're tired and you have energized, will you get a nice kick in the pants? Absolutely. So you'll push a little harder in the workout. You drink Recover after a really hard workout. You start the repair of your muscles that much faster. Yeah, you get a little bit of an edge. You drink Vanilla Recharge before you go to bed after a hard workout and you're really sore, and it helps with lactic acid and soreness. So when you wake up the next day, you're still sore, but maybe not so sore that you feel like you can't move. Are you going to have a better workout? Absolutely. So I love the performance line. I use the performance line the whole time we filmed 80 Day Obsession. But if you don't use it, are you not going to have good results? No, of course you will. The program is designed for everybody and anybody to get good results if they put the effort in. So know that. How many results? How do you feel about the plus size market doing this program? That is a great question. So let's talk about that. Who is the program for? Obviously, anytime we design a program, we have a target audience in mind. We kind of have to, so that we know, like, okay, well, this is who it would be ultimately best for. But no matter what, every time we say that, we're always blown away, because it really ends up being that it's great for everybody. You know, when we designed 21 Day Fix, that was designed for people who were incredibly sedentary, who hadn't worked out ever or hadn't worked out in a long time, had 50 plus pounds to lose. And we still had tons of fit people do it and have great results. Because if you push yourself to your level of hard, you'll have great results from whatever you're doing, because you're pushing and you're exercising, and that's what counts. So in terms of 80 Day Obsession, the original thought was it was for people with a baseline of fitness, people who were looking to take the results to the next level, who were really to go like all in and dedicated, who had 30 pounds or less to lose. That was the original mindset for the program. Our test group blew that theory, or that sort of target market, just right out of the water. We had everybody of every shape and size in there. If you guys know who Tulin is, Coach Tulin, she's plus size, started the program at like 273, 274 pounds. She was around, I think, 270 when we finished the program, so 3 pounds. Don't be discouraged by that, because if you look at her before and after photos, she looks like she lost 30 pounds. She lost over 21, 22 inches off of her body throughout the whole program. So much stronger, even more confident, never gave up, never gave in. Her husband with MS was doing the program right next to her the entire time, doing his best. And made huge strides, was doing like surrenders by the end of the program. Somebody who's in a wheelchair was getting up and doing surrenders. So it's for anybody who comes into the program with a positive mindset and comes in saying, I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to compare myself to Autumn. I'm not going to compare myself to the background cast. I'm not going to compare myself to anybody else that's doing the program. I'm going to come in and I'm going to do what I can do with this program. And I'm going to push to my hardest. If you come in with that mindset, it's for you. Does it mean it won't be hard? No. It's going to be hard. It was hard for me as we filmed it. So the hard is built in no matter what. It's what you do with the hard. I know people like Tulin and Crystal that they modified the modifier. Tulin would email me, text me, and just be like, hey, I was doing my, plank sliders with my hands on the couch today, because at the time when we first started, she couldn't hold herself up in the position on the floor. That is totally okay. She was working to her max and she saw amazing results because of it. But as coaches, you need to know what your mindset is, and you need to know what kind of challenger you have. Do you have a challenger who's like, gung-ho, I can do this, I want to do this, count me in? Or do you have a challenger who's super scared, who's failed a million other times at a bunch of different other things, who just can't handle the thought of failing again? I wouldn't put them on this program. Start them with 21-day fix. Start them with PIO. Start them with 3-week yoga retreat, whatever it might be. Don't set somebody up for failure just because it's like the hot new program. If they're not ready for it, then they're not ready for it. The best person it's for is somebody who has a baseline of fitness, who has been exercising. Doesn't mean you have to be at your goal weight. Doesn't matter what size you are, but having a baseline of fitness will certainly help. And like I said, somebody who's just ready to push themselves, ready to give themselves a little bit of extra me time and self-care. The only person that this program is not for is pregnant women. And that's a hard no for me. Like, pregnant women should absolutely not touch 80-day obsession during pregnancy. And the reason I say this is there's just a bunch of things with the program that wouldn't make it really safe. Our heart rate goes up high, it stays up high during the program. We lay on our back throughout all 3 phases. When you're pregnant, you shouldn't be on your back after 14 weeks. We do inversion moves in cardio flow and things like that, and you're not supposed to invert, especially after a certain point in your pregnancy. So things, we're working a lot of stabilization, and obviously when you're pregnant and your joints are spreading so that you can give birth, you're not as stable. Putting loops around a pregnant woman's legs, not a great idea. It sets them up for potentially falling. So that would be the only person it's not for. Craig, I'm going to keep talking if that's okay. I know I'm like going on and on, but since I've got our big group and our diamonds and above, I'd love to keep talking if that's okay. Okay, so let me see what else. Can I ask where you buy wrist plank supports from? So Julie's asking where you can basically buy the wrist stands. Beachbody sells them, but you can get them anywhere, any sporting goods store or online. But having the wrist stands, if you have bad wrists, is a good idea because we work in plank a lot in this program. You guys, I want to take a couple more questions about the program, and then I would love to talk to you guys for a few minutes about how to use a little obsessed and 80-day obsession and get people excited and like the business side of it. So just know that that's going to come in just a second. Will there be customizing available for time nutrition to account intermittent fasting? That's on you guys. It's not designed for intermittent fasting. And let me talk about that really quickly. I'll try to keep this part short, but since I've been asked a lot about intermittent fasting with the program, I just want to address it. There's a ton of nutritional theories out there, and I don't take a strong stand on really any of them because what works for one person doesn't work for another, and what works for this person doesn't work for this person. So it's not to say that one is right or one is wrong. Intermittent fasting is one of the hardest nutritional theories there is out there, okay? So for the majority of people, it's going to be incredibly difficult to follow an intermittent fasting program. And I'm going to talk about like the good and the bad of it, or sort of the challenges, I guess, of it really quickly. So for people who don't know what intermittent fasting is, that is you eat all of your food sort of within a 6 to 8 hour window typically, and then you go the rest of the day without eating it through the night until the next day. And the theory is, gives your body a little bit more of a fasting time to digest, process, all of that stuff. Okay, so here's why I say for me, it wouldn't work for me because just the way my body works. But this is why I say it's one of the hardest ones. Let's say you eat all your containers within your allotted time frame, okay, 6 to 8 hours, and then you hit the middle of the day, 4 o'clock, and all of a sudden you realize, wow, I'm kind of hungry. And then a little bit more time goes by and you're like, wow, I'm really hungry. And then a few more hours goes by and you're still awake and you're starving. Well, you have sort of two options right there. You either eat, and now you've overeaten because you already ate all your containers and your food for the day in your time period, or you don't eat and you're starving, you have headaches, you can't function as well, you're probably more irritable, you're not really a great person to be around at that point, maybe you're not as productive, and you are slowing your metabolism down if that happens. If your body feels like it's starving for that significant amount of time, it will do what it needs to do to slow down and conserve energy. So it will hold. Or you could be the person who intermittent fasting works great for and you don't have those symptoms. And that's great, but you don't really know if you're that person until you get into it, okay? And if you get into it and all of a sudden you're the one who keeps overeating and overeating because you're starving, you're gonna feel like you failed, you're gonna feel like you're gaining weight and not successful. So there's that. We don't live in a time where something like intermittent fasting is incredibly easy for anybody because there's temptation all around us all day long. This is not like the Stone Age where you had to hunt and gather your food, and once you ate what you hunt and gathered, there was nothing left. You have a refrigerator and a pantry, and everywhere you drive, there's food and grocery stores and all of these things and celebrations that happen at night, and you've already eaten your food during the day, and all of these things come into play, which is why I say intermittent fasting is incredibly hard for this, or for just a typical lifestyle. There are plenty of people who do it and have great success with it, so that's why I said I'm not shunning it. I just think it would be very hard to do, and this program isn't designed for that. You're working really hard, you need to fuel your muscles, so I can't really speak as to what kind of success you would or wouldn't have doing this program while intermittent fasting, because that's not what it was designed for and it's not how it was tested. But if that's you and that's what you do and you want to try it and see if it works, that's for you. Like I said, I can't really give a solid opinion or advice on it because it wasn't tested or written for that. Okay, so would you call this program one that will get people stage ready for bikini competitions? Absolutely, follow it to a T and you can totally use it for that. Okay, how can we market this one to folks who may not already be fit? Let's see. Okay, so you guys, let's talk a little bit about A Little Obsessed, and then let's talk a little bit about the business side and getting people excited for all of this. So A Little Obsessed launches December 20th. You guys know that. A Little Obsessed was designed as like to do two things. One, to give people an introduction to 80-day obsession, to give them an introduction to using the loops, to using the sliders, to sort of seeing a version of what the format of 80-day obsession is, meaning you see what AAA looks like, you understand what a leg day looks like, or what total body core looks like. A Little Obsessed is definitely a much easier version. It's shorter, the moves were designed to be more basic, it's to introduce you to it. It's also a standalone program, just like 21 Day Fixes. You can absolutely use A Little Obsessed as its completely own program. It's 5 workouts, they cover the whole body, they work the whole body properly. You can absolutely do A Little Obsessed for 3 weeks or 4 weeks and have fantastic results with that program. A nutrition component will be launching with A Little Obsessed on December 20th. And essentially that is the workout block from 80-Day Obsession. So it's to give you an introduction to what timed nutrition is. It's so that you start to get used to it. So for getting people ready for 80-Day Obsession, first of all, I've said it a bunch. You should have a baseline of fitness for this program. 80-Day Obsession does not launch till January 15th. You have 6 weeks until it even launches. That's plenty of time for somebody to get their butt to work and start building that baseline of fitness. So now is the time where you're getting people hyped up and you're getting them into your own challenge groups right now. You don't want to just wait for January 15th of like, oh, wait till this program launches and then start this. This is the intermediate to advanced program. So I have a group going on right now. It's called Prepare to Be Obsessed. We've got like almost 30,000 people in there. And that group has been going on for a while, but people can still jump into it because we already did 21 Day Fix, we did Chisel, we did Fix Extreme, we did the 2 weeks of A Little Obsessed, and now they're on to a mashup calendar. And the mashup calendar is of 21 Day Fix, Extreme, and Chisel. So each day they're doing a workout from one of those programs. And I've designed it so that it's still very well rounded and you're still getting a great workout each week. And that leads us up to the launch of A Little Obsessed on December 20th. Once we launch on December 20th, that group is going through 4 weeks, so 4 rounds of A Little Obsessed. That's the perfect thing to use to continue to get them ready for 80-day obsession, because they need to know how to use the loops. They need to know how to use the sliders. They should have an idea of what weights works for them on a leg day or a total body core day or a AAA day. So right now, that's exactly what you should be doing to get them ready. The best way to get somebody ready to train with me is to have them train with me. I have 3 other programs out that they can be using to get ready. And they don't have to do the mashup calendar. Maybe they're not ready for the mashup calendar. Get them on 21-day fix, or get them doing chisel, or get them doing just extreme. Be the coach, find out what their needs are, and then get them started on that right now. We know the average person gains between 7 and 10 pounds from Halloween till New Year's Day. It's a statistic everybody talks about every single year. So why, as a health and fitness company, would we let our people have that happen to them? This is not the time to let your challengers throw caution to the wind and be like, I'm going to pig out for 6 weeks and I'll deal with that come January 15th. Because if they gain 10 pounds and then go into 80-day obsession, they're going to feel even worse. It's going to be so much harder. And then when they do get on the timed nutrition after eating sugar and drinking and all of these things, that detox that they're going to go through is going to be that much more intense. Worse headaches, more lethargicness, more soreness, more nausea, all of those things that come with the detox of getting sugar out of your body and alcohol out of your body. So why not get them going with the containers right now? The containers allow you to have alcohol. They allow you to have treats. They just do it in the right portions so that you're not binging and going crazy and overdoing it and gaining weight. I've said this on a lot of my coach calls. Where is the Fixate challenge group? I see all of these really random challenge groups going on of people who are like, I'm hosting a crock pot challenge, or I'm hosting a Whole30 challenge. The Whole30 challenge blows my mind, honestly, because the woman who created Whole30 speaks out specifically against Shakeology, because there's grains in Shakeology that she says you shouldn't eat. So as Beachbody coaches, I don't know why you would ever host something that somebody speaks out about us against. Like, that doesn't help your business. If you take somebody through a Whole30 program and they have success with that, and then you say, now buy Shakeology, the first thing they're going to do is be like, why should I buy Shakeology? You just told me to do this program that I had success with, and she says not to drink it. You just cut yourself off. You just cut your income supply off. Host a Fixate challenge. You want to do a detox? Hold a 3-day refresh or an ultimate reset challenge. We have our own tools. You don't need to go host these other things. You are the coaches. Use what we have to grow your business. If you want to know why you're struggling, I honestly believe this is it sometimes. When I look at what all the coaches are doing and I say, well, I don't really get how the crock pot challenge gets you a sale over here. And now if you're saying, hey, we're going to do clean week. That's in front of the paywall. Why not? We're going to do this clean week workout for 7 days so you can see what these workout programs are all about. And we're eating clean, and we're going to do this crock pot thing with it. That's okay. That makes sense to me. You're tying it into what you have to sell. But right now I see the coaches' focus going like this, and I'd like to see it come more narrow. I see the coaches feeling like they need to be the fitness and nutrition expert. And maybe you are, and if you have certifications and degrees and all that, that's great. But as a Beachbody coach, you are not supposed to be the expert. You are the coach. You are supposed to talk about your experts. Your experts are myself, Shaun T, Tony Horton, Shalene, Chris. These are your experts. Talk about the experience and the knowledge that your trainers have had, that they've dedicated their whole life to, and the quality of the program that we put out. And get your people on that. Get them excited about that. When you say, hey, look at me, I'm doing this free group and I'm the expert, you're doing what we call a bait and switch. You might not realize it, but that's what you're doing. You're saying, come follow me. I'm the expert and I have this free group. And you take them through it and they have some success and they have some fun. And at the end of it, you say, hey, do you want to buy this other thing I have over here for sale that I'm not the expert on and have nothing to do with? And they're like, well, what do you mean? You just said you were the expert. I trusted you. I followed you. I did your thing. And now you want me to buy this thing over here? You've cut the trust because they feel like they just got a bait and switch. And they did. You said, I'm the expert, I have this to offer. And then you said, actually, I want you to buy this thing over here. So instead of doing that, don't set yourself up for that. Tie it into what we have. Like I said, if you want to do a nutrition thing, we have the Fixate cooking show, 200 plus recipes on there, breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, cocktails. Do a challenge, do a week-long challenge. Let's make all of our breakfasts from Fixate this week. Let's make all of our dinners from Fixate this week. Let's make kids' lunches from Fixate this week, or whatever it might be. Let's just make meals from Fixate this, whatever it is. Make that your challenge. It gets them used to meal prepping. It gets them used to the container system. It gets them seeing that they can have really amazing, delicious food, including desserts and cocktails, without feeling deprived. And guess what? That's a sale in your pocket. There's Shakeology recipes on there that you can say like, oh, did you make the Shakeology recipe? Oh, do you want to try that? Hey, okay, let me get you a sample of that. Like, you have to think in terms of your business. I know we all want to help people be healthy, but I'm assuming as coaches, you all want to make money too. So you have to tie it in to how you make money. You can't just be like, I'm doing all of these things and nothing's working, because you have to tie it in to what works. So let me keep going with the business side since we're sort of in it right now. I had a really great discussion actually yesterday with one of our elite coaches, and we were strategizing for her a little bit about the fact that the Beachbody business and the way it is right now is not the Beachbody business that it was 3 years ago. That's not a good or a bad thing. That just is the reality of it, okay? Technology, social media, all of that has changed the face of the fitness industry in general, okay? That's not just us, that's in general. So it's no longer a job where you can say, I did my 3 posts today on social media and I can sit back because all these people are gonna find me and come ask me about my product. You no longer can say, I've got this humongous infomercial with millions of dollars of media behind it running, and people are seeing it on TV on the daily. So it's really easy that when I post something about 21 Day Fix, they've seen it on the television week after week, day after day, and they're just gonna come ask me about it. That's not the business we're in anymore. And that's, again, it's not a bad thing. It's just the way it's changing. The infomercial business is going away because nobody watches TV anymore. So we have to find a new way of direct marketing. That's cool, takes time. You guys, you are entrepreneurs. If you think being an entrepreneur means that you should work 2 hours a day and make millions of dollars, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it ain't true. My dad was an entrepreneur. That man worked more than anybody I've ever seen in my whole life. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 23 years old. I don't know that I've ever technically taken a day off, even on the weekends. If I'm answering questions, if I'm on social media, if I'm reading and doing self-development and all of that stuff. As an entrepreneur, you work harder than anybody else. You set your own hours. You get to do it in your time frame, but you should be busting your butt as an entrepreneur, okay? So yeah, it's a different business. No longer are you just going to jump on social media and do those 3 posts a day. You have to work it and you have to want it, and you're gonna need to work 8 hours a day. So here's my thought. If I was a coach, and this is what I feel is a part of your guys' job that maybe not everybody does. With every new program that we launch, I would immerse myself in that program. Even if I'm not doing it, I would watch every workout. I would read all the material cover to cover. I would print the material out. I would highlight it. I would tag it. I would file it. And like I said, I would know the in and out of every program that we have. Even if you have no intention of touching 80 Day Obsession when it launches, you should watch every workout for 80 days because inevitably you are going to have a challenger who's doing that workout. And how can you be a good coach if you don't know what they're going through? If they're like, oh my gosh, in 80 Day Obsession today and it's day 30, Autumn said blah, 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 blah about nutrition, or hey, it's day 45 and Autumn's talking about refeed days, and you haven't watched, you haven't heard the journey, you haven't heard the journey of the background people, you haven't heard my journey, you haven't seen how I've talked about the weights and the loops and the sliders. How, as a coach, do you effectively coach them? And how do you build trust if you can't answer their questions? And you can't only immerse yourself in one program because that's not your business. You are a Beachbody coach. So you should know the ins and outs of every program, because not everybody that comes to you is going to want 80-day obsession or 21-day fix or insanity or PIO. You need to know about all of them. So when your challenger comes to you, you invite them in, and then you ask the questions that you're supposed to be asking, which is, what are your goals? And they say, I'm really tight. I need my doctor, my physical therapist says I'm really tight. I need to work my flexibility. You don't put them on 80-day obsession. You put them on 3-week yoga retreat. Or if they come to you and they say, I have really bad knees, I can't jump, you don't put them on insanity. Put them on PIO. Like, there's things, like, you need to know it day in and day out. And that is a part of your business. Watching these workouts, doing these workouts, completing programs. If I was a coach, I would complete a program at least one every quarter. That's sort of how our flywheel works. Like, as we release programs, it's typically one a quarter, okay? So even if you're not completing the one that was just released that quarter, I would be completing at least one a quarter, and I would be talking about it constantly. This is the one I'm doing. Do you want to join me? I would make my social media account look like the program that I was promoting, okay? This is an interesting thing that I've learned. Whenever anybody asks me what my job is, and I'm like, oh, I work for Beachbody, I'm a trainer for Beachbody, they look at me and they're like, what? And I go, P90X, Insanity? Oh, yeah, Tony Horton, I know them. I'm like, well, yeah, Beachbody puts those program out. Tony Horton's the trainer for P90X. I'm the trainer for 21-day fix. Extreme. Not everybody knows the Beachbody name, believe it or not. They know our programs, though, okay? They know our programs very well. So if I was getting ready to promote 80-day obsession, you better believe my Instagram account would look like 80-day obsession, so that when my prospective challengers come to my account, they don't see a hodgepodge of information. They see before and afters from 80-day obsession. Go on the 80-day obsession Instagram and grab them. Ask the coaches that participated in it if you can use their before and afters. Come to my website and grab them. Repost the move of the days that I was posting when we were on the set of 80-day obsession. Talk about it. Go live on Instagram. Talk about it. Talk about who it's for. Talk about why it would work. Talk about why you're excited for it. So that when people come over, if you want them in the launch of 80-day obsession, they see 80-day obsession. They don't see 80-day obsession, 21-day fix, insanity, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying that they can't ask about those other programs, and they will. You guys know, everybody's over here doing this all day long. They're scrolling through. If they come to your Instagram, they're going to look back 2 years. So they'll see everything else. Make it about the program you're promoting, or at least the main one that you're promoting. And at the end of 80-day obsession, if you're going on to insanity, then your Instagram account should look like insanity. Leading up to when your challenge group starts, start saying, this is the next program I'm doing. This is who the trainer is. This is the before and afters of people that have done that program. This is when my program is launching. You're going to have to put more work in. That's just a part of being a coach now, is that we're in competition with more people. There's all of these fitness experts out there that are pulling attention. So you need to pull attention back to what you have to sell. And you have amazing things to sell. And you have the ability to do it. You got to get a little bit more creative. You're going to have to go a little more grassroots, put in a little more time and energy, but it can be done. So I would be doing that right now. I would be talking to people on social media. Every day I'd be talking about when the launch of A Little Obsessed is coming, why you're excited for that it will get people ready for the loops and the sliders and the nutrition. Host a group that maybe does meal prep but uses Fixate to do meal prep. You could be doing all of these things right now. December should be an amazingly huge month for you guys with the launch coming up in January, because people should be doing other things to get ready for it. Carl just posted today what your Success Club prizes are. It's a really awesome 80-day obsession like cushion mat. I just saw it and I was like, is mine in the mail? You also get, like, there's the 80-day obsession tank for women and the tees for guys. So those are really fun packages. And since you guys are all on this page and our diamonds are above, I know they made the announcement yesterday of something really cool. I'll sort of wrap it up after this, Craig. I know I'm going on and on, but I'm excited to have all of you guys on this. So they just announced yesterday about the biggest coach test group that we're ever hosting. Guys, I'm so excited for this. And if you didn't, go look at your Diamond Plus page or whatever that thing is called. Maybe Craig will tell you what it is because it's on there. So with the launch of 80-Day Obsession, we are hosting the biggest coach test group ever. Okay? But here's the thing. You're going to have to buy one of the packs to be included in this group. And we're doing this for a reason. We want you guys 100% in. We want you 100% committed. We want you to have stake in the game, which means you've invested something into it. And you all know what the packs are. I printed it out there for myself. Hold on. Let me look at this really quick. I did. So there is the Obsession Accessory bundle, which I think will go for $49.95 for you guys. And you get the intro calendar, the portion control containers, one set of 9-inch loops, one set of 12-inch loops, and one set of the sliders. So you have to either get that pack or the Obsession Accessory Mega Pack. And the Mega Pack has your Beachbody Performance line in there, which is great. It has 2 tubs of Energize, 4 tubs of Recovery, which is enough to get you through all of 80-Day Obsession. And like I said earlier, the Performance line, obviously great for getting through this program and enhancing your performance. But the reason I'm talking about those 2 packages is because to be in this coach test group, the biggest one ever, where I will be in it every single day, just like I was with the 100 coaches that went through 80-Day Obsession while we filmed it, I will be in it every single day with you guys. I'm in there answering questions, going live, talking to you guys. There will be homework for you guys to do, just like any other test group where you have to submit photos and videos and things like that. But we're also going to be using the success stories from that group for whatever versions of infomercials and marketing that we use. So you have an awesome chance there by being in that group to not only learn the program from me, be coached through the program from me, but to also potentially be featured in all of our marketing stuff coming up. But you have to be in one of these bundles, okay? And the bundles will go on sale December 14th, and you'll have to buy it between December 14th and January 15th. The group shuts down after January 15th. You won't be added in. The whole point is to get you guys in, get your coaches involved, all my top leaders, your downline. Here's the thing. We have like almost 400,000 coaches in the network. I expect a bare minimum of 30,000 coaches in this group. And even that will actually disappoint me a little bit because there's plenty of you guys who are diehard. You want the intense program. You've got tons of challengers that want it. So you should be in this group. Again, this is part of your business. This is part of investing in your business. I don't care if you already have the loops and the sliders and whatever, and you don't care if you have the intro calendar because it's online. You make the investment because that's part of your job. It's part of being an entrepreneur. You come into that group and you learn from the person who created it. You come into that group and you learn from the nutritionist who also jumps in there and answers questions because I'm hoping the group is so big that I need help answering questions. And then you also run your own challenge group inside of it. This is a coach-only group, right? It's meant to take you guys through it. But in learning from me, then you're able to go be a better coach to all your challengers in your own challenge group that has to do with 80-Day Obsession. So that is also incredibly exciting and a really awesome experience and thing coming up for December. I'm not telling you to hold off and wait signing new coaches till December 14th because they could potentially buy this package and get involved. You keep working your business, but you do it now, and then you get people excited. You get your coaches excited for this opportunity. That's how you get people going. I'm going to look and just see what other questions we might have really quick, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Craig. Let's see.
And yeah, Autumn, just so you know, if there's questions about the packs and pricing and that I can cover that.
Yeah, so that's for Craig. I do my best.
Like you have to know all that.
But
like you're doing awesome. I'm super impressed. But you definitely don't have to know all the logistics of those packs. I will pick you up there. So.
Okay, I do have one question, and I've actually seen this question quite a few times now about the length of time of the workouts, and I'm going to tough love you guys once again. So the question is, Are all the workouts an hour? I don't have an hour in my day to do an hour-long workout. I'm too busy. BS. You guys, I know plenty of people who are insanely busy. I'm one of them. I know you guys think like it's probably all like rainbows and gumdrops over here in LA, and like Autumn just gets up and, you know, her day's so easy. My days are jam-packed. I'm a single mom. I'm up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning, getting Dominic ready, getting him out the door, getting him to school. I'm taking phone calls in the car with headquarters. I'm on coach calls every night. I still have to be a mom and make lunch and make dinner and grocery shop and do the laundry. Like I don't have a big staff of people doing these things for me. This is me. So, but my health is a priority to me. I have an hour in my day because I make it a priority to have an hour in my day to myself. And if you don't have an hour of time in your day to yourself, you need to look at things anyways, because that's not a balanced life. If you literally can't find 1 hour to work out for you, things are out of balance. And I'm not saying that in a mean, hurtful way. I'm saying that as like genuinely like care about you to take time to rebalance your day, that you do have 1 hour to dedicate to your health. Think about that. It's your health. You really don't have 1 hour. Look, even if the kids are in the room with you, trust me, I know that's annoying. My son comes in the room and the dog comes in the room and I'm tripping over both of them and stuff. I just keep going. I'm like, mommy will help you in a minute. Or if you need something, bring it in here to me and I'll help you while I'm in the middle of doing whatever it is I'm doing. That's just life, but it's a priority and I make it a priority. So if you are going to take on 80-day obsession, most of the workouts are an hour long. It is what it is. If you don't have time for the hour-long workouts or you're not ready to set that time aside for yourself, do a little obsessed. Those workouts are 30 minutes. If that is all you can manage right now while you rebalance out things in your day so that you can make a little more time for yourself, that's okay. But I don't recommend taking on a program and half-assing it. And these workouts are 45 to 55 minutes long. So if you're going to take it on and really go for it and ask for help. Ask a neighbor, ask a family member, whatever it might be. Do what you need to do to take that time for yourself, because like I said, it's okay to take that time for yourself. You should take that time for yourself. We don't want to be the parents that are all stressed out all the time because we don't ever take any time for ourselves. I'm going to look at a few more questions that we have here. Let's see. Is there a good program to be doing now to prepare for 80-day obsession? We talked about that. Yes, we will have the plan, the meal plan for a little obsessed. We talked about that. We talked about the fact that you should not be doing this during pregnancy, even with modifications. Oh, the food plan will come out for 80-day obsession on January 8th. So it comes out a full week before the actual launch on January 15th. And what I should say is that huge Facebook test group that we're doing for the program, we will start adding people into that group on December 14th when you can start buying your pack, because that pack is what qualifies you to participate in the group. It will take a few days to get added to the group because they are cross-referencing to make sure that you bought a pack to be added into the group. I will start speaking in that group on January 10th. So nutrition information goes up on January 8th. That gives you 2 days to start reading the materials, watching the videos, making notes for questions that you have for me. And on January 10th, I'll start jumping into that test group to start coaching you guys through how to get ready with your nutrition for the first week. And then, like I said, from that point on, I'll be in there every day talking about everything, talking you guys through it, answering your questions and that sort of thing. What else? How can we market this? I think I talked about that. How many sets of weights do we need? You need light, medium, and heavy. And that's a good place to start, is 1 set of each. But if you're dedicated to doing your workouts at home, which I think you guys are as coaches, then you should over time be building up a set of weights so that you can make progress. And it can take time, and that's okay. It might be you get one new set every several months, and that's okay. With 80-day obsession, I used everything from 5-pound dumbbells up to a 50-pound dumbbell by the end. In week 1, when we first started the program, I was coming off of a pretty intense hip/lower back injury. It was an old flare-up from my dance years, and I didn't work out for 3 weeks. So I was definitely lifting lighter in week 1. My legs are really, really strong. You guys heard me talk about that. So by the end of phase 3, I was holding a 50-pound dumbbell for sumo squats, and I could have actually held heavier than that if it was a kettlebell. It's really awkward to hold that big end of a dumbbell. So you do want a variety of weights. On average, though, I used 10s, 12s, 17.5s, 20s, and 25s. Those were my 5 most predominant weight sets that I used. But like I said, having one set of light, medium, and heavy weights will definitely do to get you started, and then you add as you go. Craig, how about I take like 2 more questions and then I'll hand it back over to you.
Sounds great.
Let's see. Just looking for ones that maybe I haven't answered yet. So this one says, I'm a Beachbody live instructor teaching 3 hour-long classes a week. Will that affect my nutrition plan for this program? It might, and we'll talk more about nutrition and the details of the nutrition program in that huge test group come January 10th, because there's going to be a lot to dive into. This isn't as cut and dry as some of the other programs nutritionally, in terms of, am I in weight loss? Am I in maintenance? When do I need to bump up? I'll be addressing a lot of that once we are in that big group. So obviously, again, something you're going to want to be a part of so that you can take that knowledge back to your challengers as well. Adding in 3 extra hours of working out a week, yeah, you might need a little bit more food. You might need to start in maintenance. You might even need to bump up 1 bracket from maintenance, but we need to wait and see how your body does within the first few weeks, just being in a maintenance plan to start. So we'll get there. It looks like, I think, Craig, unless anybody else, oh, here's one more. Why won't 80-day obsession program be offered on DVDs as well? You guys, it would be impossible. It would literally cost $2,000. To put 80 workouts, 80 almost hour-long workouts on DVD first of all, I mean, think about how many DVDs you'd be sent. You'd be sent like 30 or 40 DVDs. But on top of it, we have all this extra bonus material, all these extra teaching videos that come along with it. Streaming is the new way, okay? The further we go into things, this is where technology is going. Just like beta, if anybody's old enough to remember beta, how you used to watch movies, it went from beta to VHS. And then we had VHS tapes forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And then we've had DVDs forever and ever and ever and ever. And the new technology is streaming. DVDs will eventually be completely obsolete. Nobody will have them. So streaming is the direction we're headed in. And like I said, it gives us the ability to do something really cool and unique that we couldn't have done on a DVD. So no, they won't ever be available because it would just be too expensive. Nobody would buy a DVD at that price. All right. I think I've covered it all. I know I still have lots of coach calls coming up in the future, so hopefully you're on one of those. And Craig, I will throw it back to you to wrap it up.
Awesome. Well, Autumn, thank you so very much. I want you to know that we appreciate it. And I think you just broke the Beachbody Champions page record of live videos. We do a lot of live videos on here, but just so you know, I mean, we had up to 450 people watching live on this video and have been above 425 for over 40 minutes, which is just incredible. And so I think it goes to show the level of interest there is in this program, and also how compelling and awesome the information is that you're sharing. Thank you so much, Autumn, for doing that.
Thank you.
This has been incredible. You guys, there was a lot of information shared, and I really do appreciate Autumn talking directly to you as coaches about how you implement this into your business and how to make the most of this. And so I think what would be most effective rather than me continuing, on at the end of this video with some of the logistical nature of the packs and how much they cost and what the volume is and the different types of market segments. I'll just say this, and then I'm going to create another video on the Champions page, so that you have all the details. But just keep those 4 important dates in mind, you guys. December 14th, the packs go on sale, and they will be on promotion for 30 days, the 14th through the 14th, okay? December 14th to January 14th, they'll be on sale. All of the packs for new customers, existing customers, coaches, all the packs that Autumn referred to, and that I will go over in a subsequent video, all right? A Little Obsessed begins on 12/20. Be ready for that. The full meal plan will be released on January 8th so that you can begin to prepare for the full launch of 80-Day Obsession on January 15th. Those are your key dates, you guys. Begin now to identify your key market segments of potential customers, your existing coach base, your existing customer base, your existing customer base who are on BOD but who haven't engaged in Shakeology or meal planning or a challenge pack yet. And then obviously your new customers. All right. I'm going to refer to those very specifically and the 80-Day Obsession specific packs that we have created to address each market segment. Okay. I will share that in a subsequent video. All right. Thank you so much for being on this, and we will see you in the video I'll do on the packs. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. All right. Bye.